Hello, welcome to Truth Runs Deep podcast. I'm Taryn,
I'm Callie.
and we're here to talk about all things Law and Order, the original Law and Order, SVU, organized crime, fanfic writing, and more. They're still doing data on organized crime, by the way, so
It's coming eventually.
2025. That's
Maybe.
all it says. 2025.
Didn't they say March?
Question mark. Because Danielle was like, "See y'all in March," but I don't think that would. Uh, I think she may have just been guessing. Because the reason why I don't think it's March for real anymore, because March is in like 2 weeks and they have not advertised at all. So I do not certain it is March anymore. But it is what it is.
Yeah, and if you like, and Peacock does actually advertise shows, so it's not that it's not
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah. Peacock does advertise on TV and on like their app. So, and I haven't checked in a minute because but I'll check let me check Peacock just to make sure. I'm pretty certain I haven't.
Taryn's gonna invest.
I pay for the premium. The only app I pay for the premium for, the premium ad-free version. All right, the rest of the streaming services, I don't. It's the only one.
And then I share hers.
Well, the only reason why I paid for premium is because I could watch because in college I didn't have access to cable, so I could watch my local channel to watch SVU through Peacock if I had the premium package, and that's why I have it. And then I got used to not watching ads, and then I can't ever go back on Peacock because when you watch it without ads, SVU is so quick because it's like, oh, that wasn't an hour; it was like 42 minutes. It's not an hour.
The episodes are actually 45 minutes. The only reason it's an hour is commercials.
Yeah, it seems so much quicker, especially the ones you've seen before. It's like the plots move really quickly, and it's like, oh, well, it's over again. No, nothing on Peacock, by the way. I was just checking. Actually, hold on. Let me wait. Let me check. I'm gonna check. Let me check one more place. They only have, excuse me, up to season 4. Well, obviously, they only up to season 4, but there's no advertisement for season 5. So, yeah, it is what it is. Also, guys, I hope you appreciate this new mic because I had a gift card, so I bought a new mic. So this is like the Razer. It is. They had a black one, but I was like, the black one looks boring. And then the mic stand is black.
The pink is definitely more you.
It's a Razer mic, and it's supposed to sit on your desk, but I have it in the mic stand, which isn't supposed to go in this mic stand. I did some finagling, and I hope it sounds better and more crisp. People said good things to say about this mic, and I think it's cool. So
yeah, sorry, you still got to deal with my obnoxious loud voice the way it is.
Yeah, because also MacBooks weren't meant for podcasting and such. So
All right. So
I'm sorry, we had to go on a rant real quick. I also need to go rant about how I got some new gaming stuff because I started my YouTube channel back, and I love this keyboard, but it doesn't work Bluetooth. Like it's supposed to, and it doesn't. And I've talked to Ghost Keyboards. I made a video about it. I like how it looks, and it's amazing, but it just does not connect to Bluetooth. So Ghost Keyboards, I'm really sorry if I talked horribly about. Well, I do like your customer service because you all did really try to help me. So I do like the look of your stuff, and if you want to sponsor us, that would be great. Because make us design a keyboard with y'all or something. I don't know, because that's what y'all do. But we're not that popular, so
graphic designs, and then I
that's
just make everything sound amazing.
They collab with different people, so because I like them. The mouse does work. It's a Bluetooth mouse, and it does indeed work. The mouse pad is fantastic. It's a huge mouse, like a computer pad. Like it's hanging off my desk, but I like it so much. But anyway, I made a YouTube video reviewing that, so if you want to watch it, check out
Look at you becoming a gamer.
Yeah, we're eventually getting to that point, but equipment-wise, I'm not yet. So
trust
we're getting
me,
close.
I would like to. I just have nowhere else. I have nowhere to do it.
So I'll be making more YouTube videos on my channel. So if
I have to wait till I get my own place to do that.
Yeah, we're a little broke here. Well, I might be getting a new place eventually. Why does that look weird? Maybe I'm just a little.
Okay. So anyway,
maybe by this summer I'll have my own place,
Sunday.
so we'll be better at making content.
Sunday was Ice-T's birthday.
Yes.
He is now 67 and still kicking ass. He was grateful for all the birthday wishes and stuff.
Yes.
And then I was sadly reminded today that
Yeah.
the day we're recording this, February 19th, it has been 2 years since Richard Belzer has passed away. Which I can't believe it's been 2 years.
Yeah, it's been
I
2 years.
thought it was 1.
Yeah, I
Like,
thought it'd been 1 also. Maybe with time it seems weird. Time is a weird thing.
I can't believe it's been 2 years. It's just crazy that he's gone. And if you don't know who he is, he plays Munch on SVU. And he's incredible.
And Munch
person.
on a bunch of other things. Because Munch is the only character that
Oh yeah, Munch is like
existed in other
literally on
worlds.
everything else.
He's like one of the few characters that he's like had a record for like the character that's played like in multiple shows is the same, like out of their universe. The most like I forgot what it was. It was like he's played John Munch in so many different shows that aren't Law and Order related that like he had the record for like playing a character that's not in a different show as that character.
That's literally just the character he is. So we miss you, sir. And thank you for Munch.
Yes. I mean, I feel like I need some room ambiance, y'all. Sorry. I don't have any TV playing in the background, and it's bothering me. So I need some. Anyway,
Okay,
where I keep talking.
There's that.
So there's something else I was gonna say, but I forgot what it was. I was like, I need to put this in the notes, and then I forgot.
You need to
So I
vent
didn't
about
do it.
something.
Now I already took care of the keyboard problem.
Do we need a Mama Terror moment?
No, I
Oh,
don't think
okay.
so. Probably,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it's always well warranted. But you know, it's well warranted like every other day I get on Twitter.
Mhm.
Okay, for real. But you know,
Yeah, don't
that's
cause
not
Mama
why.
Terror to have to give you a lecture.
I don't.
It
Well,
won't be pretty.
I don't have anything to lecture about. Besides people being annoying as usual. There's not anybody being specifically annoying. Okay, kind of everyone was about this SVU episode, but like we'll talk about not everyone. Like we might have been one of the few people who had like we're probably one of the few people who had like a positive thing to say about the last SVU episode. But I like that episode. But maybe we'll talk to it when we get there. Anyway, both of these were good though. I liked both of them.
Yes, these were probably.
So-
I mean, besides the mid-season finale, these are probably like up on like
Yeah.
good
like
ones.
for SVU, I would maybe put. I would say like it's for the top 4. I think, or for me, it would definitely be Corn. Probably is the top one. I would include Tenfold.
Yes,
This week's episode. Well, I may switch Tenfold with this one, but I like Tenfold.
this is like in my top 5.
And then the one that the first light. Those kind of are like my favorite ones this season.
Yes.
But anyway, so it's called Duty to Protect.
And this is the Mothership episode.
Yes, sorry, I forgot to say that. We'll talk about the other one in about a minute. So it's called Duty to Protect, and this young girl. We found out she's 16, but originally we figured she was how older teenager, but we didn't know at the beginning. But she's doing this commercial, filming a commercial, selling sunblock.
And after she shoots one time, they have one of the like I don't know people working on the set being like, "Hey, there's a man downstairs who wants to see you." We can tell by her face that she's not
someone she
comfortable.
really wants to talk to.
And then the next scene is boom, she's dead.
Yeah, you know how a mother should be like, bam, dead body.
Yes, literally.
To be alive, dead.
You get
And
like
you're
a minute and then boom.
Anyway.
So unfortunately we find out that she was thrown into the dumpster, like on the edge of the dumpster, and head was hit.
Yeah.
And then she was also strangled with a tie to make sure that she was
very important.
Actually dead.
Yeah. It was pretty particular about whose tie this is, but we'll get to that in a minute.
And Riley says somebody lost their child tonight and they don't even know it. Which is sad.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get the intro. Then we get them talking to like with the witness. And he saw like a kid near the dead body and then running away. So they find the kid and she took his he took
her bracelet.
Her wallet.
And he didn't take the wallet, I don't think he took the bracelet.
He took the bracelet. So they
He took
bring
her
him in for
bracelet.
questioning. They're like, what did you do? And his lawyer immediately is like, does this kid look like he would wear a necktie?
No, he's a little like scruffy looking kind
Scrawny
of.
kid. It was funny.
He doesn't have a neck. He wouldn't have a necktie, all right?
No, he would not. And he admits that he was looking for money to get food to eat, so he took the bracelet to sell for money because his mom is a illicit substance addict.
Yeah.
So it wasn't him. They let him go.
I have to get this blanket because my chair scuffs the wall every time I lean back, and I forgot to put this blanket back so that I don't scuff the wall. Because that is me scuff. You can't see it, but
and so they decide to talk to other girls the girl might have known, and one girl said that she saw
that's better.
the dead girl talking to a man who was bald with cigarettes, and she's like, he was old, like 50, and then the camera cuts to Riley and Shaw just standing there like, thanks.
I know, right? Jalen obviously is not as old as Riley is. He's kind of laughing at
that, and Riley's just standing there
like man,
great, thanks.
Like 50s old. You know that episode? That made me think of that episode of SpongeBob where Mr. Krabs. It's an early episode of SpongeBob where like it's the one that's kind of banned sometimes. It's the one where they. One. But there's like a part where there's this like song playing on the radio and it's like you're so old. Anyway, that just made me think of that. Sorry.
It is.
Also, y'all, I know way too much about SpongeBob. I maybe would have about the ghost keyboard that SpongeBob called. I did. Anyway.
They then find the bald guy, and we find out that he has a gun, and he limo drives.
He's smoking cigarettes also. That's why they know it's him.
And he works for security. So, yeah. So they bring him in to talk, and they're like, why do you know this girl? And he pretty much says that his son follows her on social media. And then she advertised an energy drink that the kid drinks so many of.
He had a heart attack. Like
he almost had a heart attack.
Energy drinks, you have to have a heart attack. Yeah, energy drinks aren't good for you long term, especially. There's a whole lot of research done about like it makes your heart rate too high. You can have a heart attack. So this is our warning to you: don't drink too many energy drinks. Responsibly drink them if you're gonna drink them.
And don't do it just because your favorite celebrity does.
Yeah, definitely don't do that. Right? Definitely don't do that. That's a responsible adult. Responsible adults telling you don't do that. Yeah. All right.
The bald guy limo driver was basically just talking to her because he was mad because his kid got hurt. Not because not that he did this. They do some more research. They find the girl's parents. They did not know. They're devastated. Her name, we find out the girl's name is Caitlin. The mom is devastated. The dad, first thing the dad says is, she's beautiful inside and out.
You're like, yeah, it's kind of important.
Keep that in mind. Because once you get the plot, once you hear the rest, like, it made sense to me once I heard it.
It makes sense that he says she's inside and out.
All right.
Anyway, sorry.
They are like, why did you not report your daughter missing? And they're like, she stays with a group of models. She's a model. They're like, she's 17?
Exactly. Like, you're a minor.
Yeah. We then find out that her mom is a movie director, and they were at her movie premiere.
Yeah.
That night.
Oh.
So it couldn't have been either of them.
Right? Wink, wink.
They find out that she had an older boyfriend who was 20.
Which is kind of illegal, but you know.
Yeah.
Well, it's not the dating part's not illegal. It's the, if you do,
And the thing is that
sexual things. That's
the boy kind of wanted more. The girl did not. Well, be
because
glad
it would have been
you did,
illegal.
dude, or you'd be arrested too.
Yeah, because she's a minor. It would have been illegal. She was trying to look out for you, dog. Because if you had done anything, if somebody hadn't found out, you would have been in jail
get
for
some
assault.
information that see if Caitlin was anywhere else before the crime happened, and she was at this donut shop. So they go to the donut shop, and they get the footage from the donut shop, and lo and behold, the dad is there.
Yeah,
which makes no which. What's
a little far. You'd be at the movie premiere because where he said he would be.
Movie premiere, right? Apparently not, because the dad is brought to the precinct, and they find out the dad bought donuts after the movie had started, and then snuck back to the premiere.
So the math was not mathing for him.
They also did DNA, and they couldn't figure out like how it was the dad if there's no
familial
DNA. Well, we find out that it's actually her stepfather. He adopted Caitlin 10 years ago when he married her mom. So
it's arraignment. It's arraignment.
Sam's rocking the dark colors and her hair is like loosely curled. Okay, that's beside the point. But
we have to let you know about Sam.
Sam always is good. We gotta talk about it.
Every time.
We don't get to talk about female lawyer outfits very much. So
exactly.
The bail is set at $20 million.
Yeah. Apparently what I learned about bail is that you only have to pay like 10% of it to be released. So bail is kind of
the wife immediately pays
the bail. So then
they do some investigating before trial, and they find a video that Caitlin had made that was set to release the day after she died.
Yeah. Because she wasn't supposed to die, it was like the next, she was going to post it the next.
Goodness, what is this video supposed to be? Well, Nolan plays it in court, and it is worse than you might think, but also probably not.
It's what you expected, probably.
It's probably what you expected. So we find out the dad started essaying her at 14 until now.
Yeah.
Which is different than what we usually hear, because usually when you hear it, it's like the kids are like young.
Yeah, some of them prefer children.
Like it stops at puberty. This one like started when she was in puberty, so 14 to 17.
Yep.
She goes on to say that at first she thought it was special, that she thought she was in love, but then she realized that it was messed up.
That's not what's supposed to happen.
It's not, and it's bad.
Yeah.
She said that she told her mom, but her mom was not able to help her.
This is important for later.
Yeah, so everybody's kind of in the courtroom, disgusted. Yeah. Nolan and Sam are staring at the screen, utter disgust. The jury is realizing, holy crap, this guy is horrible.
Yeah.
And the dad is at the defense table, slowly becoming a volcano of anger. Because they call a recess. They go to
they start like moving around. They're kind of like moving around, trying to
moving around. Everybody's leaving. The jury's being brought out. The dad is being let out to where he's supposed to go, and he immediately, in a fit of rage, grabs the police officer's gun.
Yeah, we're like, oh.
And everybody starts screaming.
Literally, I looked away for 2 seconds and then the chaos occurred. Because we're taking notes as we're watching live. So I like sometimes I'm looking down and I'm like, yeah, it's great.
And needless to say, we like write like
He wrote a draft book that we never posted
all the time. We wrote a draft of this that we haven't posted
yet
back in November.
We did. It's wrong thing.
So we did this first.
Yep.
Ours kind of went worse than this one did, thankfully. But we did it first. Anyway.
Yep.
Sam screams. Nolan immediately, without hesitation, brings Sam down to the ground and pushes, almost pushes her into the little corner in between the gallery and the jury. And he is in front of her, covering her, protecting her. Make it happen already, y'all.
Maybe I can find the picture. Hold on. If NBC posted the picture, that's what I was doing. That's what I was pulling. Get this
Shaw and Riley are there.
Not this time.
Basically,
you're like
behind the benches, but they have their weapons pointed at him. And
put the weapon down. Put the,
Yeah, and then right there,
why are you tripping?
In the middle of the courtroom, in front of everybody, he takes the weapon and unalives
chooses to self-exile, and it's very intense.
And Sam and Nolan are kind of just there, Sam has literally covered her mouth in shock. They have just physically seen somebody unalive themselves in the middle of the courtroom.
Yes, and they're like,
Side note, she had gorgeous white nails on, but anyway.
Oh, I was trying to get the pictures from the episode, but the computer is being dumb.
Kind of like mine. If things being weird though. So we get a commercial because
you need one after that.
You need one after that. They come back, and Nolan and Sam are exiting the courtroom, and Baxter's walking over like,
y'all okay?
What happened?
What happened? And they're
and they're like,
you're really let me.
I don't even.
I have a tab for NBC's Media Village show. I keep it.
Yeah, Nolan's like, I don't even know how to process that.
Let's see, because they have this week's episode picture, but SVU the posted there too. So
and then Sam immediately, if you ask me, the bastard got off easy. Yes.
They didn't put those in there. So there's no courtroom. There's a picture after the courtroom, but not during the courtroom. So
okay, but seriously, they're in a tiny corner, and he is covering and protecting her. This is the second time this has happened in the course of the show.
Sorry, y'all, I got the yawn. I really don't know.
Twice from a weapon. Make it happen already.
They need to be careful, but we wrote a little something, a little travel of it one day.
So they go on to be like, "What do we do now?"
NBC, where's this?
Obviously, the trial can't go on. The guy is dead.
Yeah, NBC we're probably gonna release the picture after we're done recording, and I'll be like,
anyway, put it somewhere.
Probably not. I usually don't bother. By the time of the episode, I usually don't bother.
They talk,
but anyway,
and Nolan says that he wants to charge the mom because the mom did know about this
and
didn't do anything about it. They want to charge the mom since she basically knew about the abuse, but nothing.
Her child endangerment.
And Sam was really confused because all of her movies that she directed were about female empowerment and gender equality. And yet her daughter was getting abused right under her nose. Baxter's like, you're right, because she had a duty to protect her child, and she didn't.
And didn't.
Wanted to charge her with endangering the welfare of a child. They're like, how are we gonna get her to
not confess per se, but admit to that,
So they have Brady do it because Brady is also a mom. So mom to mom conversation. Brady mentions her movies remind her of Alex Morrow, who was apparently a writer who stayed with an abusive man.
I don't know if this is a real person or not, but
we don't know. But it kind of goes on to that.
I don't think so, but let me check real quick.
She said the mom, I don't remember the mom's name. Oh, Michelle. The mom's name, Michelle, says that, yeah, and we both stayed with men after seeing their feelings. And so Brady asked, like, why didn't she do anything?
I don't think so. She's Alex. I don't think this is a real person, but Alex Morrow is a character in a book series, but not a real person. I don't think.
So
according to Google,
Brady goes on and is like, why didn't you think you needed to do anything? And Michelle has the audacity to say, it wasn't my place.
You were like, yes, it is.
That is your biological child. That is just like the episode. It's just like the episode in SB with the judge where the mom didn't do anything.
Exactly. Not doing anything.
I literally wrote in all caps. Yes, it's your fucking place. It's your child.
It is your child. You're like, there's a lot that goes on. We're not even through the episode, y'all. Like, this is like, it's a lot of things that go on here.
She goes on to say that she knew about the video and told her husband about it.
Yeah. Like, what is
she told her husband her daughter made this video and was planning on releasing it to the public to expose him.
He's kind of famous too. I forgot what for though.
And then so Brady is just sitting there with a cup of coffee in her hand. She takes a sip and she goes, well, Michelle, you make me sick.
I know. She's like seething it. It's like, you make me sick.
And Michelle's like, what? And then they arrest her because obviously.
Yeah.
So then they have Nolan and Baxter and Sam talking. It's basically like they told the dad
like, she didn't
kill him. Angry and abusive about the video that was going to ruin his entire life. She might as well have handed him a loaded gun.
Or it's like she didn't have actually killed her daughter, but she might as well have given him the loaded
gun. The dad's name is Ron. I didn't write that down until
it was wrong. I put it later on, kind of know initially.
Yeah, Baxter says, okay, you need to go for man too, because not only is this endangering welfare of a child, this pretty much
because if you're in action, your child
in action. You telling the dad about the video, your daughter's dead. You cause this.
Yes.
So
then they start walking away, and then the defense attorney kind of walks up to Sam.
Walking, and then Sam apparently knows the defense attorney for something we don't know what, but
they were just kind of friendly, so
they're smiling and they're friendly.
She has a bunch of files in her hand.
Yeah, the defense attorney says that Michelle is a victim too, and she hands
her files. Like, she's a victim too.
And they all look into it, and apparently Ron has abused other women before.
Yes. Yeah.
Apparently Michelle might have been one of them. So the defense attorney wants to bring in a psychologist to testify to basically say that because of Michelle's state of mind,
prior abuse, she wasn't able to
she couldn't do anything to help her daughter. Hence the daughter saying earlier, my mother wasn't able to help.
Mm-hmm.
So they do a little hearing.
What I'm hearing is they have no jury. It's just there's no jury to it. Yeah, it's just the judge. It's just the judge. There's no jury in a Verdire hearing. So then Michelle talks about how
the psychologist basically said that Michelle is beaten and sexually assaulted by a uncle as a child.
Yeah.
Great. And Michelle is sitting there like, do I have to listen to this?
Yes, because like the defense is kind of talking to the psychologist about like, so if like this happened, does this ruin her mental capacity to help her child?
And then the psychologist says, well, abuse becomes their definition of love, which unfortunately is true.
Yeah.
And Michelle did tell her parents.
They didn't do anything about it.
Which I don't understand how any parent could not believe their child when they say this. Like,
yeah, it's usually like really bad for young children because they think they're like making it up or imagining things. But like
if you go to your child, if your child comes to you and says this horrific thing, investigate.
You should take some investigation, get some,
investigate it. At least find out if it is true or not. And not just totally ignore it, because if it is true, it's gonna keep going on.
It's gonna keep going on. It's gonna keep going. Like, it's not good. It gets continuously worse if you don't do anything.
You let this person continue to abuse your child because you do not believe them.
Exactly. It's very
always believe your child and look into it.
Yes, at least look into it. You may not believe them initially, but at least look into it,
Yes, unfortunately, there are such things as false allegations. But you need to investigate to find out if it's a false allegation or not.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's the rant for the day. The psychiatrist
says
that she has a dissociative disorder. So she wasn't capable of caring for her daughter because she was pretty much so abused that it kind of led her to just.
It kind of warped her view of the world. She didn't wasn't present.
Yeah. So the judge rules that Michelle's state of mind won't be a part of the trial.
Yeah.
And the defense attorney goes, "But Your Honor, as a woman," and the judge immediately goes, "Don't go there."
Exactly. I was like, she shut it down quick. I was like, oh.
Don't go there. So Nolan is satisfied with this. No, but Sam is starting to have second thoughts.
Just second thoughts here. So they're talking at Baxter's office.
And he says people in power should be protecting those that don't. Parents have that power to protect their children. And they go on and say, what would happen if we give her a pass?
Yeah.
They give her a pass, and it's basically telling any parent who didn't do anything about their child's abuse that it's fine when it's not.
Michelle testifies next.
She tries her best to protect her with self-defense lessons and helped her get enough independence to move out.
Yeah,
which is but why not to playing with the models.
Yeah, but it's not. But she didn't per se stop the abuse. She kind of was trying to make it so that the daughter wouldn't be in the situation instead of like stopping the situation.
Yeah. Like she got, in quote unquote, she kind of got rid of the daughter instead of getting rid of the husband.
Yeah, basically. So then Nolan's like, so you paid the bail, you alibied him out. So
saying you were that he was at the movie premiere with you.
But he wasn't. Like, so what's up with that?
And she says, I did what he said. That's how it always was. Which is a very key thing in most abusive relationships.
So they could just go along to survive, essentially.
Yeah, pretty much. And then Nolan brings up the movie that
he made movies about this
put out. And the movie is about a daughter who gets abused and the daughter dies.
Yes, they're like, so
like now.
They're like, so like what's
so like explain. Like, was it just so you could have a movie? Like what?
Exactly like.
And the mom was like, I made a mistake and I wish I could do it all over again. Court adjourns. Sam is pissed. Nolan tries to say that it was fair game.
Yeah.
She says it was legal, but it wasn't fair.
Yeah. And she starts getting a bit louder at him, being like,
Yeah,
you're always looking for the truth.
Look for the truth and how they can do things if
But
they
don't have all the evidence, because leaving out this crucial detail is leaving out the evidence.
Yeah, leaving out her state of mind is leaving out a key piece of evidence, etc.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, and then she goes on to say, I respect that you're a man of principle, but I have mine too. Nolan and her go to walk away. He says, then we'll have to agree to disagree. She immediately turns around. No.
And she's like, no.
Really? He's like, what?
Exactly. And he turns back around, and then she's like, do you really think you understand domestic violence more than I do? Because she talks about how, like, her sister, she brings about her sister.
Hundreds of women who have been in domestic violence. My sister died at the hand of her abuser.
He is.
And then
there's some other thing she says, but I can't remember what it was.
Intense fucking line Odelia has said.
She was like,
all season. If you don't respect my opinion, then I don't know what I'm doing in this office.
Exactly. It's like, boom. You're like,
oh. Mic drop. Goodbye.
So then we go to Baxter's office.
And Nolan is like, explaining what happened with Sam. And Baxter's like, but we have to do this. And then Nolan explicitly is like,
headphone users, I promise.
Face it, Nick. Sam knows more about this issue than we do. Maybe we should start listening to her instead of telling her she's wrong.
Exactly. I was like, boom, again. So he did listen,
Finally, the white man
finally listened to her. Finally. Nolan.
He starts listening.
For once, Nolan, you finally did listen. So then they go to the court again, and they take a plea deal. Michelle takes a plea deal. So she'll get 1 year in jail and some time in probation.
Which, I mean, in my opinion, was it as much as I think it should be? No, but definitely didn't need life in prison either.
It wasn't good. Going to be good for her to be in prison either. So, it is what it is.
And then
so then they're leaving?
They're leaving, and Sam looks right at Nolan and says, thank you for hearing me.
Yep, and that's it.
I give this 4.5 stars.
Yeah, I like this one. The next one tomorrow is In God We Trust, which is about...
I forgot of... that's gonna be fun.
It says... Oh, hold on. They didn't put the words. Hold on, my bad. But basically, they're investigating the YouTube channel I used to look at promos. Basically, it's about... They're investigating a church because somebody died. But the people in the church do not want to testify. They don't want to participate in the American legal system
at all. We
don't know if they're like Mormon or a Quaker or anything like that, or just a cult in general. We don't really know per se, but
Amish. But it's like the type of vibe. It's like very secret, very secluded. Ain't gonna talk to the outside world. Nolan and Sam are gonna have a fucking.
Because the woman stands up and is like, I'm not going to test. She's like in the like witness box, being stands up being like, I'm not going to testify. You're like, so what are we gonna do? Because somebody saw this crime, but what we're gonna do? We don't. This will be fun. Also, I'm very fascinated by cults. I don't know if this is a cult because it's not clear if this is a cult or they're actually just nice people in like an Amish setting. We don't really know yet, but But I did watch a documentary about the Doomsday Cat cults. No, that was an experience. You've never watched The Curious Case of the Doomsday Cat cult. That was fascinating.
Let me see if I can find the summary.
The Doomsday Cat cult is about this woman who is a preacher, self-proclaimed preacher. Okay.
All right, found it.
And she says they have to rescue cats. The people in her commune have they have to have as many cats as they can. So they have 15 to 30 cats in one house, and it's crazy.
Alrighty then.
She's still active to this day, by the way.
I found the summary for the episode, and it says a young lawyer with a secret past is found dead. Price and Baxter debate the pros and cons of prison as a punishment versus alternative justice options.
Well,
Interesting.
that was interesting.
But yeah, it's literally like these people like look like they're living in olden times.
Yeah, so they may not want to participate in the legal system. So we'll find out.
That'll be fun.
So we're about to do calculated. I like this one. It comes with, I'm not gonna talk about the episode specifically, but it does come with this controversy. But I disagree with the controversy about this episode.
The controversy is not. No, we'll get to it, but knock it off, people.
It's not well warranted in this case. I don't think it makes sense when you like think, as much as we think about this show and the characters in this show, it makes sense.
And we do a lot
because we do a lot of reading about stuff, reading articles. When you write characters, also it kind of makes you be like, all right, if they're thinking like this, you know, kind of figure out what their state of mind is when like things like this happen, you know. And I also think a lot of the time, where's my rant going? This is sort of my rant. I think people often want to criticize the writing, whereas like if the cast and crew of the like actors didn't like the writing, they could ask for it changed. Okay, that's my number one thing about people complaining about the writing. If the actors like in the show are like, I don't feel like this fits my character, they could probably change it.
I'm not doing this, then they would change it.
Yeah, but obviously they don't feel that way. So
all right. Anyway, so this episode is calculated.
It does have some real life truth to this episode. They pulled some stuff for some different things.
Trigger warning for
several different things. Pulled from a couple different things.
Yeah. So it starts with this like kids in like a private prep school, and they're putting these phones in their bags.
These little like security bags
because they can't use their phones at school, which is like an entire issue schools are having right now.
Yeah, we used to have to put our phones in these like pouches on the wall in high school,
and then you get a bag at the end of the day. But this kid has a backup phone.
Yeah. Like you can afford a backup phone. I guess they go to really rich schools. You could probably afford it.
It's a freaking rich prep school. Well, on his backup phone, he eventually gets a text, and the text is
another girl around his age, not with clothes on.
Yes, thank you. I was like, I don't know how to describe it.
And also the fact that this is also very important because it's illegal. It doesn't matter if you are a minor, but if you have pictures of other minors who are not dressed, it is
still illegal.
It's considered CP also, and you can get in trouble for it. So this is also why this is a big deal.
So Olivia and Kate, so they'll get the call about this case. And
they're kind of just talking like they normally talk, you know, the little SVU banter at the end of the work day. You know?
Olivia has Silva drive.
Like, you're driving, those are the keys.
Yeah, here you go. Which makes me wonder, it's like, why doesn't Olivia want to drive? And how good of a driver is Silva, actually? So they arrive
talking about him.
Yeah, they arrive at the prep school.
They're going up these big stairs. Like, they have big stairs.
Fancy stairs. And
fancy stairs, so.
Kate is, like, realizing, like, how
complicated it all
complicated SVU is now compared to homicide. And Olivia is like, with homicide, you have a dead body.
SVU is an crime has been done. You have to prove a crime has been done. With the dead body, you know a crime has been done. But SVU, you have to prove it.
They go to talk to the headmaster of this school, and because I missed this earlier, the headmaster of the school had caught the boy with the second phone.
Yeah, that's why they called.
That's why he called SVU, because he saw the picture. And so he basically explaining to him that they had this picture.
They have this app.
On this app called Ghost Letter, which erases messages after 12 hours. So basically like a Snapchat.
Kind of like Snapchat, but I also feel like it's kind of like Yik Yak, but not really like Yik Yak.
And then
don't look at y'all. Yik Yak is toxic. Do not get on Yik Yak, okay?
And then
it's like an anonymous app where you can like talk to, like, you don't send messages per se, but it's basically like a message, more anonymous message to other people in your area. And like when I was in college, it kind of became popular. So like I was in it. Well, I looked at it and it was really bad because people would just talk really bad about people and everything about. And it was just like, this is really toxic, yo. So don't be on your gag unless your community is like way more fun than college. Anyway,
and then Kate, who is completely aware that her boss is sitting right next to her, immediately goes, "Oh, I would have been all over this in high school."
Yeah, but like most teenagers are. Also, Kate definitely is she's younger than the rest of us.
Yeah, she is rebel. Yeah, she also
she probably did have. She looked like she did get into a little bit of trouble. Not a bad trouble, but like a little bit of sneaky trouble, you know.
Sure.
She was sneaky too. She seems like it, but you know.
Well, then they talked to the.
She did talk about that time she was at that sleepover and she did like climb out the window or something strange.
Yeah, exactly.
But like,
so they talked to the boy and his mom. He's like, I don't know where I got this picture. It just happened. They find
out who the picture belongs to. Who is this girl?
Her name is Leah Hayward, and she goes to Ellsworth Academy, which is another prep school. And they go to talk to her, and she says that she didn't send it, at least to that boy.
You know, but like, yeah, to that boy, it's a lot though.
So
then they talk to a different person.
Yeah, well, side note, they're leaving the school, and Olivia just looks really good in like her striped gray blazer and everything. Okay.
You know, there's a lot of good Olivia outfits in this episode, for real. But anyway.
So we find out that she was originally trying to send this picture to a person named Oliver Banks, who originally did ask for the photo.
Yeah.
But
then he left the app afterwards. Yeah, he got the picture.
And then there's Finn and Velasco are outside the school.
Because they're at that school.
Outside his school. And Finn goes, Benson said we would be done with this by lunch. And Velasco goes, so she was wrong.
Okay, Finn. This case ends up being a whole lot bigger than some kids in some pictures, all right? It starts off that way.
Like, why are we investigating these kids and sending their pictures and they're all being...
They shouldn't be doing that, but you know...
So Finn is like, why does this have to do with my job?
Yeah, so then they get Teru involved. You know, Teru has to go investigate, you know.
They talk to Oliver. Oliver's like,
I wasn't involved in that either.
I didn't ask for this. I'm not... He's pretty much like, do I look like the kind of kid that...
Yeah, he's very...
Somebody would send this kind of picture to?
He's very nerdy, okay? He kind of looks pretty nerdy. Like, he's not into, you know, doing this kind of stuff, all right?
Well, then we find out through
Teru,
Teru that there are 60 other ghost letter accounts ran by one person that is going back and forth asking for pictures from different people,
pretending to be
a student asking for the picture.
Yeah. So this is one of the elements that, like, most of the time scamming is very intense these days. This is one of my educate you for a moment sections, all right? So this is our little brain. I have lots of thoughts in here. So like scamming, particularly in this way, is particularly not necessarily with like CP, but like money and like fake pictures. Not even fake pictures. Most of the pictures are real, but they have been stolen and used in scams. A lot of the time that happens. So like they'll pretend to be someone else, maybe somebody that you know, and like have stolen their pictures off of like their social media, or maybe their age hacked or whatever, and then ask you for, usually it's for money, not necessarily pictures per se, but usually start with money. And you end up in a money laundering scheme, and then that's bad. So, you know, please be careful with the pictures you send people, especially the people you think have questions about or don't know.
Okay, so then someone is like, what are we looking at? And Olivia goes, we're looking at a factory. We just need to find out who's running it. So basically they look into it, and they only seem to be targeting the rich kids on the Upper East Side of New York. Oh, this is when we're like, the gray blazer is hot. Yes, it was.
Yeah, y'all. Dang, where's the picture of it? Is there a picture? That's the burnt orange blazer. No, I need the. Where is it?
What is this one other than rich kids and their parents?
I think Kate's. Oh, basically, I think Carisi kind of like, maybe this is when Carisi walks in. I might the first time. I don't remember, but they're kind of talking, and then like, basically, like, what are we gonna get out of this? Like, these parents, because one of the girls' parents is not happy. She's basically like,
So
you're gonna
literally, these parents are
ruin
gonna
your college
sue us.
career. Gonna ruin your
Yeah,
college career
so
by
they
sending
go
this
talk
picture. And you're like,
to
bro, it's a little
Leah
deeper than that. It's a little
again,
deeper than that, you know.
and it's
Besides,
basically like, so this is kind of bigger. There is
just
not
sending
a
this one
teenage
picture.
boy that has your daughter's picture.
It's an adult. Well, I don't know
The
that yet.
mom is pissed because she basically is like, I told you not to send any photos. She still did. Now she might not be able to get into college. The mom is upset. Kate goes to talk to Leah. She and talks about her admissions counselor, Adam Parker. And then they all go to talk to like the other kids, and they find out that they all had the same college counselor because he's apparently really highly regarded.
Yeah, like everybody wants him to like get you into college. They're
And
they're trying to get into the big school, the big expensive
Finn
schools.
goes, well, sometimes people aren't who they say they are. And Carisi goes, in some countries, this would be enough to get in front of a firing squad.
It is. Some countries are way more intense about like hurting children or doing crimes towards children. They will execute you immediately.
Guy, and we have all these pictures of children. Okay, go send the firing squad to him.
Other countries are way more intense about protecting children. Like the United States has a fairly loose policy about that.
Bruno says much cheaper than
China. They will definitely I think it might be China or Korea, one of the bigger Asian countries. They will and they don't wait. Like United States, death row, it can be years and whenever I was watching Ron Mango's one time.
You find out that you've done this. Goodbye.
Yeah, they give you about a week. They usually give you a week. That's it. You got a week. When they say you're sentenced to death, it's like a week.
Yeah. So and Bruno's like, well, much cheaper than the trial.
Yeah.
Fair. Greasy, a little smile. Great job. You handed me a case.
Yeah, it seems so far, it's still, we are done with the plot.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten to that yet.
Look in the first 20 minutes, all right? There's a lot of stuff going on for real, bro.
They show up to Parker's house.
Yeah.
He immediately smiles a really creepy smile and shuts the door.
They're like, we gotta bust in now.
Bust the door in.
Here we go.
They rush to find him deleting something on his computer. They grab the computer and be like, Teru, do something. Yeah. And Finn or Velasco, I forget who, was basically like, I hope you save some money. You're gonna need a lawyer.
Yeah, you're gonna need one for this one.
They go back to the precinct. They're interrogating him, and they were basically like, he was smiling when we arrested him.
You're like, this is disturbing.
So Tracy looks disturbed.
He was real disturbed by that fact. Because he's looking through the glass, and he's just like,
And then Olivia's like, well, sounds like it's game time for you, counselor.
Yeah. So then they go in.
They talk to him.
The two of them go in.
He has the audacity to be like, I'm an opportunist, not a pedophile.
You're like,
no.
Like, no.
He stole. No. We find out that it got worse. Because it's like, oh, you could just get me. Or
you can get my 50 buyers.
You can get the 50 people I sold the pictures to.
Because it's already a crime. Because owning the pictures is a crime. Selling the pictures is also a crime. So he's already looking at that.
And he was using a private key email server that he's like, not even Teru could crack.
Yeah, the best of the best.
To which I told Taryn, well, I know somebody who could. She's just not on at 10 o'clock anymore.
Yeah. Anyway.
And then Carisi goes, I'm listening.
And Olivia's like, I'm not. And she storms out of the precinct, and Carisi's like, not the precinct per se, but out of the interrogation room. And she goes to her office.
Live.
No, she's already gone. She's like, she gives to the feds, she's like on the phone. She's talking about trying to get intact with them, the feds and Interpol.
She's calling her FBI Interpol dude, And Creasy's like, wait, what are you doing?
His name's Harrison Clay, in case y'all forgot about Harrison Clay. They call him Clark Kent as a joke,
and
but
she's like,
that
we
guy.
just admitted to selling this across the country. This is Fed.
Yeah, the feds. Interpol is across the world because they don't know these people are even like in the same country at this moment.
And then Carisi is like, take a second and hear me out.
I know.
And she puts the phone down.
He's like,
are you trying to prove to Baxter that you're back?
This is very important. Okay. This one line is very important. Because he does not answer the question. He kind of just keeps talking. But so let's break this down for a moment, okay?
Yeah.
We need to break this down.
Before, the last case that Carisi had, he nearly got kicked off that case because of his PTSD.
Yep. Lily was like...
Baxter was not happy.
No, Baxter was not happy.
Now we have this. And Olivia's like, are you pretty much trying to show him that you're back and you're not going to screw up again?
Yeah. Yeah, because also, like, Carisi's very... The way he feels about people like this really bothers him. And yeah, we've discussed this before, especially because he has children now. He's really bothered by it.
He hated pedophiles beforehand.
But
now that he has children, it's up to that to kill them.
Yeah, he does not like this at all. It makes him very upset. And it's very clear because he does not answer her question. He just keeps talking.
Yeah, and then Olivia goes, is this your sick version of the trolley problem?
If you know what the trolley problem is, it's an ethical situation in which we've done this before as a little video at some point, the trolley problem. But basically, the trolley problem helps people figure out what mode of ethics do they prefer. Because there's basically 9 different types of ethics. Basically, there's 9. And this question, it's like, so
you are a trolley driver.
You're not the trolley. You're not the trolley driver. You're not the trolley driver.
Oh, sorry. There is a trolley.
So there is a trolley that is going to hit someone. There is 5 people tied to this track.
Okay, you go.
I'm gonna do it. Because I just discussed that discussion about the trolley problem. So there's 5 people tied to the track, and then there's a switch. But if you turn the switch, the trolley will hit one person who's also tied to the track. So, do you do something or do you not? Because there's a lot of situations in which we're doing this as an experiment at a Bible study. Because this last week, that's why I know a lot about the trolley problem. Because basically, you can take an approach to say, well, 1 person is less than 5 people, so therefore you hit 1 person, but you still kill someone or some people.
But then there's different scenarios where it's 1 person who's normal, or 5 serial killers,
or a baby or an old person, or an animal or a person, or the whole fact is you could do nothing. Do you do something? It's a whole lot of ethics are involved into what approach do you take? I don't know why this is a rant about the trolley problem, because I like ethics. Yeah, but basically their situation is basically do we arrest this 1 person or do we bust 50 people?
All 50. And Carisi's
we have to give this person a plea deal, because we probably have to give this man a plea deal if he helps us.
Yeah,
because you can't be. There's a whole thing about I watched a video about this also. Basically, the other problem is so if the police discover that you can't be tried again for this unless the police discover it through other terms. If he takes a plea deal and takes the plea, they can't arrest him for this. He'd have to go do it again and be caught. You can't be arrested again for the same crime once you've taken the plea deal. So so basically it's either.
And Carisi's I would rather get all of these guys except this one specifically so that they can get all the photos back.
Yeah.
And Olivia somehow, for some reason, decides to ignore that point completely, which is weird because usually she would hear that. She would want that too. She grabs her coat, she starts putting it on, and she goes, "No, I get it. You'd rather make a deal with the devil."
Yeah,
And then the camera turns.
It's hard to know what you to do in this situation because both of these situations are bad. It's a matter of which ethically, how do you determine which one is worse?
Yeah, so we knew that Benson and Tracy were going to get into arguments this season. I did not think it was going to be about this, but and so the camera turns to the outside back at the precinct, and everyone's literally watching.
Yeah, they were all like, I have a desk chair, so I can kind of show you what they're doing. They're kind of all just like, they were all like looking through, because the living window was glass. So like, imagine like this is the window, and then they're like, she walks out, and they're like, back to work.
Background, we weren't listening. We didn't do anything. Sipping their coffee, like nothing happened.
Nothing was happening. We weren't totally listening to what you were just saying.
And then she's like, I want everybody back here tomorrow morning, ready to do their shit. Be mad.
And you're like, oh. So then it's the next day. Oh, Olivia has this burnt orange blazer. No, this is the burnt. Like she still had the gray blazer on in the first part when they were fighting.
Chef's kiss.
The burnt orange blazer. That one.
Leah comes in to talk to Liv, and basically they're like, "We're gonna try to get your photo back, but maybe next time." And she's like,
"I'm talking to people in person.
Talk to somebody in person."
This means you.
Hint, hint, Liv. Do it.
Yeah, the rumor mill has no answers yet, y'all. Sorry, we can't talk about it.
I can't tell you anything yet. We're sorry.
But it's still in the rumor mill. But that means we're gonna if the rumor mill is true, we'll probably find out in March.
Yeah, so then we find out that they do decide to make a deal with Adam Parker. They're going to set up a sting.
They want to pull up to catch a predator kind of thing, it's about to happen, all right?
And they're like, okay, we need somebody.
Okay, so there are some legal technicalities with this also, okay?
Yeah. They're like...
They don't talk about it in the show, because technically the police can't do this.
Yeah,
it's entrapment. The police cannot be the people who set up the sting, but they don't talk about this in the show. It's entrapment of the police do
anyway, they're like...
they weren't supposed to do this, but I guess they don't really
they're going to have these guys think they're all meeting a 14-year-old girl.
Yeah.
Well,
basically.
Then so
to do, not appropriate things for 14.
Who's the 14-year-old girl? Olivia goes, you? Okay.
Well, I guess she was the only option here, right?
She's literally the only one who could do it, yeah.
No one else is close enough to look 14. No one else would look
13. Curry's not in this episode. She's young enough. It works.
Yeah, she can do young enough to look 14, all right? We look 14, all right, y'all? We look like babies.
Yeah, literally.
But we're both adults. Anyway, so they're like basically.
We don't know what the deal is, but he gives all his contacts. Carter texts all his contacts.
They have it down on the computer screens, and they're like, "All right, we gotta set them up." Like,
I have a real girl this time.
Yeah.
And
you want to come meet this real girl, which is
he's calculated. And Olivia goes on.
They're like, basically, he had 8 hours to do it. They're like, basically, you got 8 hours or no deal.
Basically, they literally have 8 hours. They've done this for 8 hours, and they've only got.
They tell him we were taking the plea back if you don't get all these people contacted in 8 hours.
So hurry the fuck up.
Hurry up.
Olivia
they got 5 left.
Like, victims over perps any day. Obviously,
literally, because like Carisi's looking at his watch, and he's like, "They got 5 hours." And you're like, "Oh."
And he's basically like, I promised Baxter 50 people. I need 50 people.
Yeah. So
we then find out that the way that he has been doing it is
they're like kind of like hurry up, and he's like, well, you see, this is not the place where the real perps are. The real perps are on this website. And at first you don't think it's a bad thing. You think it's a bad place at first. No.
It's called Wishcraft.
Which is they loosely based this off of. No, I think it's more like Roblox.
It looks like Roblox. It's basically a kids app.
Yeah, it's a kids game essentially. Okay, that's what matters. It is a kids game. A kids game.
Pedophiles are talking to kids on a kid game to get
them to meet
fucking sick satisfaction.
This is true, by the way. Roblox. This is
dangerous.
This is another side train. I have to educate you real quick on like if parents are listening to this, please make sure your children are safely using Roblox or not at all, because this happens on Roblox quite frequently. I've watched a lot of videos about how like they do ask for your age in Roblox, but like not for real. But there's also like explicit, like they call them like, I don't know if they're like manor houses or something they call them on Roblox, where like grown-up people are like role-playing adult activity on Roblox, and Roblox tries to set these servers down, but they keep coming back.
Yeah.
So like, if your children are using Roblox, please, I know they have parental controls, but if they do, please turn them on. Don't let your children have unfettered access to the internet.
And if they
Because there are
don't,
real predators.
Roblox, put them on.
Yeah. Because grown-ups are indeed trying to meet up with children. And there was a video I watched where they actually did like a sting operation where they did catch someone from Roblox trying to meet what they thought was a minor. Because if you come with the intention, it is a crime. So they did catch somebody. It's a very fascinating video.
Adam basically says that he knows the contacts where they're
and they're
actually like caught
on this kid's
abuse, like literally going to admit to wanting to do abuse on this fucking
kids game
website.
Kids game.
Well, so they're like, okay, this is when Crazy is like, well, we're doing this because I promised Baxter 50 guys. I'm gonna bring him 50 guys.
So they send it up before they
the website, and they're up to 30 now. And he's like,
we're getting there. And then Silva's like talking to somebody, a kid whose name, she thinks the kid at the moment.
Person who's named Matthew, and she's talking to Bruno.
And she's like, he's talking like a kid.
I think this might actually be a kid.
Yeah, because they hadn't talked about anything, bad yet, or like questionable yet. But this person is talking like a child.
Bruno's like, that can't be it. Like the email link to the account says that he's 32.
Yeah. This is very important. This is very, very important.
And so they gotta prove intent. So
he's like, Bruno's like, if this person is an adult, you gotta prove intent.
So they have to start talking, and basically is like, hey, come meet me at this hotel. Bring.
Yeah, because basically they were meeting everybody at the same hotel.
Bring condoms.
Yeah.
And after a minute, the person replies back, Amy, which is Silva's fake name. Amy, what's a condom?
Yeah. You're like, wait a second. Are they actually sure, or someone just doesn't know?
He literally doesn't know.
And she's like, they don't know. They don't know if this person just genuinely doesn't know or is a child.
So then she's like, oh, go to like your pharmacy or your corner bodega
store, and they'll give you something.
They'll tell you what they'll give you some. They'll give you what it is. As Bruno's leaving, he's like, tomorrow's gonna be a long day for you, Silva. She's like, what? I just gotta sound like I'm 14. So the next thing is like a montage of these guys coming in, thinking they're talking to a 14-year-old.
Person after person,
And it's
it's disturbing what these people say also to her, because she's like,
on the other side on the other side of the door,
or stuff like that. Or they'll walk in and be like, are we gonna get, basically like immediately going into the bad stuff. Immediately, you're like the police come in there, like, arrest.
Yeah, and so it has so Juliana is on the other side of the door, and she's pitching her voice up, so she sounds younger. So she sounds like she's 14. And one by one, these guys are like, I didn't do anything, and they're like, shut up, you're getting arrested.
You came with intent. Intent is what you came. These messages, because the messages are a crime. If you sent an illicit picture, that is a crime. If it came with the intention of doing such is a crime.
So
whether it's true or not, you intended to come do it, so therefore it's a crime.
They're like, okay, we got 49 of these guys.
Yeah, here comes the last one.
And then Kate is like, okay, maybe it really was a kid. Maybe he isn't going to show up. Maybe we're fine. This guy walks down the corner, this hallway. They all turn around and look at him, and you immediately knocking on the door, asking for Amy, and you instantly notice that he has special needs.
Yeah, you're like, because he talks about like his mom made him a T-shirt of his game character on the game website.
He has it on the T-shirt.
And he's like, I told you I was gonna wear my shirt my mom gave me. You're like,
and then he goes out calls out for Amy, and Silva's like, "Hi, Matthew." Like, shit. Now
he's very excited to meet her, and it's just
like he literally gives her a hug.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so happy to meet you. He shows her shirt. I brought what you asked me for. You're right. The pharmacy told me what it was, and I'm literally crying.
Like, oh no, this is bad because he's incriminated because he did buy them. Because if he hadn't come without them, it might have been not as bad. Because he didn't say they were going to do anything. So, like,
yeah, literally.
He's wanted to make a friend, literally. He wanted to make a friend. He literally wanted to make a friend in Investors. All he wanted.
The special need adult has showed up to the hotel with condoms because he wanted to make a friend, and that is what his friend told him to do. And they're all standing there like,
what do we do? Because they can't let him go. But they feel bad arresting him either.
Because he
did come with it. He
showed up with condoms. He did exactly what all the other guys did.
Yes, they were like, we let him go, we let everybody else go too because they did the same thing. But like, you're like,
they had to arrest him.
Yeah, they make it very gentle. Okay, they do their best.
They do make it gentle at the very least, and then it gets worse because he looks right at Kate and says, "Amy, I'm scared."
I know.
My God, like I was literally bawling. They take him away. Silva immediately turns around and looks at Finn and Bruno, and she's like, "You both saw him. There is no way in hell he did this."
He wasn't doing it with malicious.
And they're like, "Is this really the right thing to do?" Because he didn't understand he was doing. He only did it because she told him to.
Yeah, it's not like he knew what they were for or what they did.
He turns back around and sees him leave, and she's literally about to start crying now.
Yeah, she's like, I feel real bad. Like, I told him to do it, and I feel really bad. If I hadn't told him, it would have been, because they never talked about anything sexual. So if he had just shown up, it wouldn't have, well, I guess it still would have been a crime because she's a minor, but, like, actually it's not a crime. It's if you intend to go do something bad, that it is a crime.
Like, technically, in this context, Silva and Matthew are probably the same freaking age.
Maybe. I feel like Silva's a little younger. Maybe her late 20s, if mid-20s.
Either way, he thought she was 14.
He thought she was 14. Okay, that's also the problem, is that, like, he thought she was 14.
But then again, some special needs adults don't understand that, yes, you want to have a friend, but it can't be a 14-year-old.
Yeah, you can't be friends with too close with minors, okay?
There's something, there's things to that.
Yeah.
Well, Kate instantly feels horrible and immediately goes down to the lockup where all the guys are. And Matthew is sitting there with all of them. And she's like,
because he's not
talks to the guy.
He's like, man, can we like put him somewhere else away from them,
Leo. I'm sorry, I can't. And then he goes because she doesn't think he belongs with real criminals because he ain't.
Yeah.
And then the detective goes, well, look, if you don't mind me saying, 50 pedos in one sitting. Good work, detective.
And she's like, but I feel bad.
And she's like, I know, but it's actually only 49.
Yeah. So then
she tells Olivia.
So then they go Olivia goes to talk to Carisi.
And he's like, I haven't felt good.
He's not even looking up yet. He's kind of like, filling out doing the paperwork, He's not like looking at her yet. He's like, we did a good job. But I think we gotta talk about we gotta talk about this for a second. I think he feels that he's redeemed himself in the moment, okay? Like,
he feels
he's basically
good.
Kind of like, I redeemed myself from Baxter, I did have that flop last time, but I think we got, we kind of made up for that,
Things are going well. We're all is right with the world.
Until Olivia walks.
I got 50 guys. I'm giving him 50 guys, and Olivia's like, how about 49?
And he's like, what?
What? And then she's like,
he sobbed through his entire booking.
He sobbed through the entire booking. He didn't know what he was
Kirsten's
doing.
Still not like looking at him. She's like, how about you look up your paperwork and look at me? Because he's kind of not like, he's not really listening per se, but he's kind of like, okay.
He's like, fine. And Olivia goes on to say, he only wanted a real friend, and continues and hands Crazy his file. He had the cognitive skill of a 5th grader.
Yeah, which is 10, 11. Exactly.
Like, so literally, like, the exact age of these kids, the kids who are actually on the website.
10 and 11 is 5th graders, so yeah.
And she's bringing up all this stuff, and Crazy immediately cuts her off and goes, are you really lecturing me about the law? In my own office?
Yeah.
Like,
wow.
Who's the lawyer here?
Yeah, people didn't like this. Like this happened per se, but I feel like it was a bit more. I mean, like, sure, we have laws, but I feel like the laws do not take into consideration people's mental capacity. So Olivia's like, well, it's a gray area. It's like he generally did not know. But then he's like, well, the law says it didn't matter if he did not know. He came and did it anyway.
Yeah, they go to arraignment. You know, they're burning up all the guys. Next,
person after person after person after person. You know, he's like,
goes up. Matthew slowly walks up. You see him.
He doesn't know. He's not really realizing that he's supposed to stand up. And
yeah,
like, you
see his mom. He's like, his mom's going over there. His lawyer's like, over here, buddy.
Yeah.
They're like, how do you plead? And he goes, I didn't do anything bad.
I know. And his lawyer's like, not guilty, Your Honor.
Then
they like walk out because he's the last person. And then he sees Kate.
Did he get bail? I don't remember
I don't remember.
Either way, I don't remember what it is, but he's leaving the courtroom and Silva's there. He turns around and sees Silva and he's like, Amy, what are you doing here?
Yeah, because he doesn't realize she's somebody different.
And she's like, she's like, I guess I'm gonna keep going with this. Oh, I just came to see you. And he's like,
yeah, I guess she didn't want to hurt his feelings by saying she wasn't who she said she was.
And she's like, this is my mom. And then he hugs his mom.
I know, he's very sweet. And you're like, oh boy, he doesn't deserve to be in jail.
It keeps getting worse.
It does. Is that a picture? I don't think so.
The mom's like, okay, we're gonna go. And the Silva's like trying to talk to the mom, but like the mom is like, okay, we're leaving. And then they go on the elevator. He turns around and he starts waving goodbye to her.
Yeah.
Shit.
You're like, ooh.
Yeah, literally. Silva is like, fuck.
I did something. I feel horrible because I set him up.
I did this. He has a sad public defender.
Exactly. You know, the ones you get free. Not even like, you know, they.
Like, even if Crazy wasn't as good as he was, it'd still not help me.
Yeah.
And then she goes to talk. She's like, Captain, you need to do something, please.
Like, please.
So Olivia goes to talk to Crazy again. And he's like, are we about to have another one of our arguments?
He's like,
I'm done at this point.
I'm not arguing anymore.
And she's like, no, but I am going to tell Baxter, with or without you, to drop this case.
You.
And he's like, you're really gonna go around me? Like, ouch.
Yeah.
I do think
I wouldn't like this either.
I do think Liv was kind of in the wrong about this. But also, Carisi kind of was too, because he was...
Yeah, it's no good ground on either. People want to side. People want to say, like, this is a clear-cut argument. A lot of the Twitter people say this is a clear... It's not. That's what makes it such a thing. Like, neither one of them, like, they both had good intentions to do good things. But, like, the method on which they were going to happen was going to be bad either way. So the fallout was, like...
Usual terms. In, like, regular things. Like, if Carisi got this case and he saw this kid, he probably would try to get the case dropped, too.
Yeah, but, you know, he's also not thinking very clearly, you know, with his mental health, you know.
If they drop one case, they kind of got the whole thing of, we
gotta drop all of them.
Drop all 49 of the other ones who are actually criminals.
because it did the exact same thing. So
because it's of the entrapment and stuff.
Yeah, it's entrapment. It would have been entrapment anyway because the police can't do his thing. But anyway, but also the fact that like people, once again, people did not take into consideration that like people also don't read articles like we do, because we like I was looking through some articles for a friend who wanted a Twitter friend who wanted some, and we were talking about how like Peter in interviews like months ago was like Creasy's gonna be different. He's gonna be cold and like very cold and hardened about what happened to him. So you can't really expect him to be like. I didn't expect him to be like friendly about it.
His perspective of justice is totally warped now.
Yeah.
Normal worm worm-hearted crazy.
Long. Oh my God. You sound like you're saying worm instead of worm.
I'm trying to say warm. Warm-hearted crazy would not be wanting to prosecute this kid.
Yeah, but he's not thinking straight, you know.
He's not. So,
which I think Peter did talk about like this was gonna be a factor in like cases to come, but you know, people weren't listening. I was like, why are y'all mad? Y'all weren't listening.
It's not solved once. I wish.
But
so,
they basically, you know, so
Grace is like, all right, fine, I'll come with you.
Yeah. So they go. Baxter's leaving. He's getting his car.
The parking lot. They're like, we're gonna talk to Baxter, and Crazy's like, he's in a meeting.
She's like,
we can come back tomorrow.
I'm like, no, we can't.
And Olivia's like, listens to nothing, literally sees his car and thing, knocks on the freaking door.
Hey, Baxter. Because Baxter kind of was like, bro, here she comes again. Because, you know, the last time they interacted was on the mothership about the girl who killed her stalker. You know. So, you know, they got beef.
She goes, they're like, what do you want to talk about? And she's like, justice. About being fair. And I don't think you think this is fair. If you can separate justice from the emotion.
I forgot I was trying to play. I like to see you try. Was supposed to say. I like to see you try.
Basically, really, you think you can separate this because
how you feel about what you want to do?
How you feel about this kid? No. And then he goes on to say, the 8th floor talks about you. And she's like, oh, what did they say? That you're a pain in the ass.
The promos have been using that clip so much, and it's kind of like.
And Carice's just standing there like.
He's like, they're right.
Yeah, kinda.
Because, you know, it kind of, because it's like, you know, like lawyers, you know, lawyers don't have to worry about the feelings per se. But you got people like SVU and like Olivia who are like, feelings matter, and they're like, bro,
who makes them think about the feelings, and it's like, you're making my job so much more difficult.
Or they want it. Exactly. Then he's like, I don't have time to read it. She's like, you can read it when you get to your office. And she like pulls out the files. It's like, here you go. Take them. Puts them in the car.
I'll read it when I come back. He's like, nope, take it now. Read it.
You can read them on your way to your office. Here you go. Put them in the window. Like, man.
She's freaking doing this to my boss. Please, God, let me have a job the next day.
You know, make sure I get fired.
Let me get fired.
She shoves the paper through the window. Shoves the paper through the window. Like, take it.
The only thing that must have, the two things that are going through Crazy's head must have been, now I see why everybody on the 8th floor says that sometimes. And, oh dear God, please let me have a job in the morning.
Tomorrow. That's it.
So they go back to the precinct, and Finn is like, where have you been? And she goes, falling on my sword in front of Baxter.
Pretty much.
He's like, what? And he's like, yeah, Finn, I got other friends than you. We then find out, thank God, they dropped the charges for Matthew. Olivia tells Kate, and she instantly and sincerely goes, thank you, Captain. Like, she's so overwhelmed with, thank God. Which is what I was thinking too. Like, thank God. I don't know if I would be able to deal with the fact that this kid had to keep going through it because I've already cried twice. He goes to their apartment to tell the mom that all the charges are dropped and everything's okay. And she's thankful. And Matthew, the mom was like, Matthew, come say thank you. And he's like, thanks, Amy. And then he hugs her again because he still thinks her name is
I gotta
Amy.
show y'all. We gotta show y'all the picture because you need to see it already.
They literally posted the picture. Thank God, because it's fucking adorable.
Sure.
And then he asked, Amy, to come back and play with him again soon.
Yeah, he's like, I'm learning how to play. I'm playing a new game. He's playing Skyrim, I think. He's playing Skyrim.
Guys, hold on, y'all. Yeah, literally. Look at this. In what world would this guy have ever hurt a child?
Exactly. He's just so happy to see her.
He has a friend, and it's Kate. But he thinks it's Amy, but still.
He's still friends with her.
He still has a friend.
He has a friend, y'all. So then she walks up the apartment and she's like, I gotta learn how to play Skyrim.
And he's like, how'd it go? And he's like, I kind of promised myself I would have to learn how to play Skyrim, whatever that is.
Whatever that is. And he's like, I can teach you, but
I'll teach you. And she's like, you game? And he's like, I used to. Then I got addicted.
That stuff. Yeah. But then they find out, luckily, they go back to the precinct. And luckily,
all the photos were only on a private server. So they're all gone.
They weren't everywhere. They weren't like anywhere else. So
nobody got the photos. All the kids have their photos back. Everything is safe.
Yes. Woo.
And then she's like, how do I, come back from this? And then Olivia goes, it's not the Wait. Is this when she was talking to Leah or Kate? Leah, right?
I mean, Leah. Because they come in, they tell Leah the good news that, like, the pictures aren't, everywhere.
And she's like, it's not the mistakes that define us. It's the choices we make afterwards that do.
Yep.
Which, in a way, also applies to Kate because she kind of
felt really bad, but then she fixed it.
Felt bad. And she could have just hoped
hope for the best. But
hope for the best and hope the justice system worked out. And she decided, nope, I caused this. I need to fix this.
Fix it. And she got it fixed.
But I do believe that hopefully if there was a trial for this kid, the jury would be like, no.
You really think he did it?
No way?
No unanimous verdict. No jury would have been unanimous. Been like, because if it's not unanimous, it's a mistrial. So
Yeah, so you could hope that, but she didn't want to take that chance, and she's like, nope, I need to fix this. I did this. I pushed him too hard, and she did. So I give this. I think this might be my second 5-star episode of the season.
Yeah, I really like this one. It had a good pacing, a good plot. Even the people got haters, but I'm okay with it. I like this episode.
I'm thinking that this kid that there's somebody showing up who's actually giving me a kid. The fact that they had it be a special needs adult and the complications with that made it that much more interesting.
Because I was actually watching a video of a YouTuber I watch, You Catch Predators, who there was a special needs adult who did, but they did send explicit messages to a child. So
yeah.
No, but the problem was they were like, it was a woman who did
not all special needs adults are like Matthew and did not know what they were doing.
Some of them do, but
But in this case, Matthew did not. Like, you knew as soon as he's like, what's a condom? You knew really something's going on.
You really didn't know. So.
Okay, so what's next week? Or tomorrow. I don't remember. Oh, wait,
Extinguished. It is extinguished.
It is number. Alaska shit.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute since we've seen some Alaska.
And it's apparently
that comment made me mad. Sorry. YouTube had a comment about EO, and they said this person said if they don't get together, I'm going to crash out. We're like, well, too bad. EO's dead.
Too bad. Deal with it.
EO is dead. Okay, like let's just be real.
We hope so.
Hold on, let me talk about the promo. Then I will talk about that was my rant. Hold on. So these kids, two
teens, and they're from where Velasco lives / grew up, got assaulted. Yeah. We don't know what exactly it means. Like, I thought it was only a girl, but there's also a boy too. So we don't know if they both get SA'd or what. But either way,
what's happening? There's an old man who's getting beat up. Y'all's chaotic up in here. I don't know exactly.
And it's
So
like they
tomorrow.
do like games and all that because that's what he's around. And it's basically another Velasco-centered episode.
Yeah, I
And
enjoy Velasco
unfortunately, it
episodes.
also has to do the same thing because first one was like when the girls from his village got taken and one got burned alive and the others were sex trafficked. And now there are two teens from his like community here in New York.
Yeah.
So in other words, Jesus, this is a lot for Velasco. But basically, the summary says Velasco teams up with a community security guard, eager to prove his mettle to find a suspect in the assault of two teens.
Yep.
You can't tell me right now that I have strong feelings the security guard that did it in the first place.
We'll find out tomorrow, and you'll find out next week.
Probably not, but like, I have a feeling it might be also one of those things where it's like he's too eager. It might cause issues. And Velasco's like, stop it. We have a job to do because this is going to be very important to him. So it'll be interesting. All right. So that's that. Go on your rant now.
Okay. So my thinking is, this has been quite obvious for a long time, y'all. So I don't know why y'all are a little slow to understanding or something. But it's very clear that EO is not happening, okay? This is our safe space, so I can say this and not care. I do not care what any of you have to say.
Pretty sure they don't listen to us.
Yeah, exactly. Who's happening this story over there? Anyway, back to what I was saying. It's been very clear that EO was not happening. Y'all had like this. Okay, so basically, let me slow it down. Let me make sure y'all understand. The first like 2 years, maybe 3, when organized crime was out, they had to, promote the show because, most of the people were not watching it for anyone else but Elliot. Okay, let's just be real, except for us. Okay, and a couple other people. Okay, most people were not watching it for its purpose. They were watching it to see if EO was going to happen.
That's not the fucking purpose of that show. It's not taking down organized crime and mafias and shit.
Yes, okay. That was the real point, okay? But they had to keep organized crime afloat because they had this plot line that revolved too deeply. Their downfall was making it too much about Ellie, okay? That was their downfall from step one. Step -1. But so they had to keep the show afloat. The only thing people were really watching for is to see if this was gonna happen. And they got to a point where it just wasn't working. I feel like you can very clearly tell at the beginning stages, maybe until maybe season 3 or so, where like Elliot was in contact with Olivia or like he attempted to, so he just didn't actually do it. But, there was a lot of that going on at the beginning of the show. But slowly you see that slow happen less and less. Like Olivia's not even mentioned anymore. They don't talk about Olivia. He doesn't go see her or anything like that. Especially, but it's pretty darn clear. I feel like organized crime was at the brink of being canceled at the end of season 3. They were. There's no public news about this, but I feel like personally it was going to get canceled at the end of season 3. And they had Elliot give Olivia the compass to have like something to remember him by.
Sorry, don't mean to scream. I got some really exciting news.
Okay.
I'll explain after you. Go ahead.
So then they were gonna probably cancel. Then they needed something to have him remember, and then they didn't cancel the show after all. So then Olivia wears the compass, the whole season. She talks about that one time in therapy where she had tells therapist about the compass, and he's like maybe you'll get some direction, blah blah blah. But then she gives the compass away, and people are like, why would she give the compass? People are like, why would you give the compass away? Y'all, I felt extra dramatic. I don't really know why, but then they're like, why would she give the compass away? She needs to go get it back. I'm like, bro, that's crazy. Why would you want her to get it back? She gave it to Eileen to help her in her healing journey. Y'all are just weird. So, and then, organized crime, we was on the brink of being canceled again at the end of season 4. And then, in that season 26, we have not gotten a single mention of Elliot this whole time.
So I'm going to share the reason why I screamed, but also I sent you a few pictures on Twitter to show while we're still here.
Oh, I did look at that. Well, one of those things. I didn't know about the first thing. But
Okay.
what was I
My
saying?
exciting news was, as you guys are probably aware, I love Wicked, I love theater, I love all of that.
Yeah.
Well, it just got announced that Cynthia Erivo was hosting the Tony Awards this year, so
I think I saw that before I sent it to you this morning. But anyway, I was still telling my rant. So basically, I think Organized Crime is gonna get canceled. Probably about season 5. Season 5 does not do any better. It's probably gonna be canceled.
stop
That's
it.
just it.
Take
That's a
that
realistic.
back. Take
That's
that
a
back.
realistic
Stop.
approach that was
Stop.
doomed to happen.
Stop.
It's the show's fault. I have to put it out there.
Stop.
If they had done better from the start, this is the
Stop.
reason why.
Shush.
I have to put it out
Shush.
there.
Shush.
I have to put it my reason why I have to say
No,
this.
you don't. Shush.
If they had been better from the start about balancing characters, it might have made the show better.
Oh yeah, okay.
That was their downfall from the start. If they had done better and been like, you know,
I still
not
need this show. So
if they had made Elliot not as in like he could have been like a, you know, like a side character. Like could have been like, you know, how like SVU, you know, like Olivia's the main character, yes, but like not everything revolves around her. Most of the story really does not. But because they did this, they kind of they fell on their own sword here, especially when people got bored of like EO's not happening, whatever. I'm not gonna watch. Actually, they're still watching religiously, but that kind of like made them fall on their own sword here, and they're kind of at a spot where they're just stuck, and like even the storylines aren't as good as they could be. They've had so many showrunners. They moved it to Peacock. I feel like as a like chance to be like, all right, we can try one more time. And like because and they're like their scheduling is crazy. Like there's a lot of like drama, like from what I hear of people on the internet talking about how like Organized Crime like generally does not run well as a well-oiled machine, like production wise either. And that production costs a lot of money. Okay. So like there's a lot of like things that revolve around the fact that like, you know, if like production is not good and they were spending too much money, they could write it better, make something else better.
They could.
So like
but
they could, which I feel like if
we cast everybody, please.
Yeah, I was saying if their best approach is if they wanted to, you know, do better, they relaunch, give it a second chance as a different show, not as a different show per se, but like, I feel like, you know, this is a me thing. I feel like. Also, when they asked Chris what EO happened, he said no. When they asked in August, and when they asked him when EO and he said no. So I feel like he's kind of just done with like show stuff, and I feel like if he said if he wanted to be killed off if he ever came back and like just didn't want to do anymore, they wanted him killed off. I feel like if like that did happen, they take some time and like figure out how to rewrite the show and tell a better story. If they like make a really like damn good story, they had a lot of potential because they have a lot of potential. Some of the episodes are really good. Some of them are just not. They aren't good. Like there's one particular time my aunt was visiting and I was watching it and she was like,
"Hey, go see."
Yeah, season 3 went down after that. The first season, I kind of like the first season. Second season, kind of like second season. Third season, it was good. The fourth season,
Okay.
But what was I gonna say? My aunt was watching an episode with me, and she was like, "This was the worst episode I've ever seen." I was like, "You're right. I agree." Like that, it was one of them where like nothing happened. It was one of the ones where like it was just a lot of like drama, like family drama with Taylor, and nothing happened. Like you're like, bro, this was a filler, and it was useless. Moving on.
All right, you gotta pull up the.
Basically, EO is over, and I have no shame in saying that at the end.
Haha. Yes. No.
Oh, and also I think we talked about this before, but like Kelly's gonna be on an episode soon.
Yeah, pull up the picture. Pull up the picture.
There's a new picture. There's a new pic. I think I showed it. We showed you the picture of the courtroom. There's some more pictures.
Yeah, we definitely showed that.
I showed that one, and then Mariska reshared from the photographer. This picture. Hold on, I'll take a screenshot and like zoom in on my phone because I don't. Luckily, SVU's photographer has some questionable things on his page. Like, you should separate your politics from your business, okay? But anyway.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Anyway, this picture was posted today. Oh my God, I forgot. And Kelly's in the tan coat. I looked at the description of the picture. He says like, "And Kelly Geddish," and Kelly's in
Kelly's just standing there.
Juliana's like back there. Juliana's back there, and that's
Yay, yay, Kelly and Juliana scene. People wanted that, including me.
Yeah. So maybe we'll see. Well, we think. Oh no, I remember what I was gonna say now. Sorry, this is it. The actress who plays Tess posted that like.
Oh yeah.
Oops. That's what I was gonna put in the link, but I forgot. I didn't pull this whole thing out. My bad. She posted that like she had just finished filming another episode, and it was like such a like big thing for her.
And Kelly's there, and so there was a courtroom.
So what we're thinking is it's the trial.
Probably the trial.
Because when they asked Peter, did he think there was going to be a trial? This was like November, so obviously he probably didn't have the answer. Then he said he didn't think so, and now there is. So
when you have
if there was
something as big as that, how
needed a trial? It needed. Ooh, it's gonna be something that I'm so excited for.
Heartbreaking because if Tess testifies. I mean, we already unfortunately know what happened in the back, in the freezer. We're going to get details.
Yeah. It's going to be crazy.
And that's going to fucking hurt.
It's going to hurt.
And, and then Creasy is going to fucking make all of us cry.
Yes, because she had to testify. And it's going to be something.
Probably including himself.
Yes, man. And if I have to see that man in tears again, I'm just going to melt.
I know.
His tears are just like...
Grab the tissue boxes. We'll already need it. Peter will
talked about this before, but like the way he cries is just like
it's painful.
It hurts because he's always a smiley guy. His smiles are so big and his dimples, and then you're just like
dimples. When he cries, his face scrunches up.
Yeah, his lips start quivering, and you're like
quivers, and it's like fuck. I can't do this.
I can't. But we're gonna do it again, y'all. I don't know when. We're looking at if that is
the only thing
early April, late March.
Make it better is if somehow the rumor mill is true and it happens in the same time as this.
Yeah, because it would be really.
Wait a minute.
I don't line up exactly. Sorry, if you're thinking what I'm thinking, unless you're texting me what you're thinking. But
maybe hold on,
because this might be if they're still filming it. They're filming 18, I believe, right now, and I think there's supposed to be 23, according to one of our friends that there's 23 episodes. So
we just need to know if it's happening because it's gonna kill us.
No one doesn't answer yet. Our dear friend with the sources does not know.
Yeah, even our friend doesn't know, and it's like
that would be a good.
Please, we want to know. Because we need this to happen. Because it needs to happen.
Yeah.
Because, god damn it, we waited for so fucking long. We deserve this.
Yes.
Needless to say, we just need we need Creasy to be okay. We need Tess to be okay.
We need everyone. We need everyone to be okay. Y'all, we're very excited about that. But like,
and
if I line it up correctly in my head, if they don't skip, it should be March.
And Deontay,
this episode should appear in late March.
Yes, he's a child, but dude, you need to go to prison again. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't feel sorry for you.
Sympathy for you.
Exactly. Like I don't feel bad for you. Like
you
had every opportunity to stop, but you didn't.
You're like they find out you didn't stop a death and a assault. They're not gonna fucking put you back on the street. Especially after once Creasy testifies, you're screwed.
Exactly, because Creasy's bad now. He's not like he was when he was like sweet and nice. No, it's different.
You're gonna get the mad him and the crying him.
Creasy.
Both combined. Your nail in the coffin.
Exactly. I feel like we gotta go practice write that because I feel like we always practice to write things before they come out and just predict how good we can be at writing. But like running a defense attorney in a situation is going to be difficult. So I got to go to getting that defense attorney mind.
But also, here's the thing. We don't know if this is the case. We don't know who the prosecutor would be.
Yeah, if they got to get another because it can't be him, obviously. If they can pull someone random, which I feel like would be a waste of like acting.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe they make it another crossover and they get Price or Baxter.
Yeah, because technically all the lawyers can do different things, whether it be homicide or.
But the way my brain is thinking is I'm hoping it's something else.
Yeah. You know, I know what you're thinking. You know, I think I could be a little dumb here, but it's okay. Weren't supposed to be talking this long, but I started yapping because I haven't had You weren't supposed to be talking this long for real, y'all. But we're very excited about the upcoming episodes. There's some good stuff coming soon, y'all.
I sent you my thoughts.
I did think about that. It could be true. I thought about that. So. I thought about that because
I would literally fucking
realistically, it's not possible. But this is a fantasy TV show, so it can be. Yeah.
You say that, and literally, it's fucking happened that people have switched millions of times.
Exactly. You would eat it for real, like.
And if you don't, let's give you like an analogy. We're thinking of if a certain someone came back and switched sides. It's happened before because Price started out as a defense attorney and is now a prosecutor.
Yeah.
Barba started out as a prosecutor and is now a defense attorney. Shaw started out as a lawyer.
Someone else also switched a couple times. Rita has been a person who switched times.
Rita has done prosecution pro bono.
Yeah.
And defense attorney. Yeah, Barth was a judge and then became a defense attorney. Carisi was a cop and then became a lawyer.
Yeah.
So
anything's possible. I've never watched The Rookie. I hate the fan of The Rookie. I have to put that out there. But one of the characters was a prosecutor. Then switched to defense attorney and then went back to being a prosecutor. Okay?
It's possible.
Anything is possible. All right.
We can dream.
We can dream. We're going to run ourselves soon.
We're probably still going to anyway. Anyway, thanks for listening, everybody.
Sorry, we didn't get off the rant because there's stuff to do. It's almost 3 o'clock. That's stuff I'm supposed to do.
It's 4 o'clock for me. Holy crap!
That's supposed to do, and I didn't because I started yapping. Anyway, also we're addicted to Hello Kitty Island Adventure, and
yes,
that's all we've been doing in spare time.
Yes, literally, I have cinnamon rolls.
Yes.
The cinnamon rolls.
Yes.
Courtesy of.
Yes, because I am a great gift giver.
You very much are. Okay, that is it. We gotta go. Thank you for listening. We love you. Bye.
Thanks for listening. We love you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share with your friends. Okay, that's it. Bye. Where's my mouse? It's on the wrong monitor. Okay, bye for real. Turn it